Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's good to see you. This is a reading for Sagittarius rising, or if you have significant Sagittarius placements in your chart and are needing a neutral energy to help balance masculine and feminine energies within yourself, then this reading is for you. So Sagittarius, we're going to start off with the overall context of the reading. So I feel like right now you're kind of dealing with like trying to make a decision or like it feels like trying to make a decision actually, but we're starting off here with the Queen of Wands, the two swords, which is actually like the decision, which is like perhaps being pulled in two directions or be like not sure of what to do perhaps. But with the Queen of Wands coming out first, I feel like this is emphasizing to like trust in your ability to manifest, or it doesn't feel necessarily like a snap decision, but it kind of just feels like trusting in yourself. And also that I feel like whatever it is that's coming in, because it does feel like there's something coming in. It might be like an idea, a new idea, or a new inspiration. It's really talking about like connecting to your intuition and things like that, and trusting in your ability to manifest, because it could be that you've manifested something, but for some reason it's causing like doubt or unsureness, or just like it's requiring a lot of like balance, right? With the Justice card, you also have here the Five of Cups, which is talking about like so this card talks to me about like manifestations that are not coming in, right? So but I feel like there is something coming. It's just kind of like what it is might not be what you expected in some way, or it's like I don't know, it just feels like it's causing uncertainty because it's not quite what it is that you expected. It's like I'm just kind of I've been really drawn to like all these like little symbols that are in these cards, like this tattoo on her arm, and then sort of like the are they earrings? It's kind of like I feel like there's it just feels like there's something that is coming in for you, but it's not quite what it is that you imagined or wished for, or whatever it is. But I want to say that whatever it is coming in for your benefit, it's feeling like. So if we go to these cards, the Crone, the Pilgrim, the Underworld, and the Siren, which is so interesting. Because the Crone is sort of all of this wisdom. It's perhaps like a new cycle or something like that, or the ending of a cycle. The Pilgrim talks about sort of wandering, right? Like just sort of wandering or exploring in search of something. And then you have the Underworld and the Siren, which is really interesting. Because I feel like this underworld is sort of an energy that you may need to be going into, is kind of how this is feeling, because there's something in there for you to gain. So I'm not sure the context. That's the context of the reading. We're just gonna go into like the actual cards. So we're starting off here with the Shaman and the One card, which is really interesting. The Shaman card was bringing the message of like the bridge between practical and spiritual, which is really interesting with the One card as well, right? It's like a very it's kind of feeling like bringing together aspects of self, so like the light and dark aspects, right? Like the shadow and the light aspects of self, perhaps. With the Shaman as well to come out, it's kind of feeling like it comes in with the energy of like there's something needing to be healed as well. But I feel like you've done that, is kind of how it's feeling. Or it's like you're in the process of that. You're doing some sort of like healing work, but it's kind of like there's because of that, I want to say, like with this hand reaching and the Maktub card, it's kind of like because you're engaged in this healing work, it's bringing up like new opportunities or options or something like that. It's giving you options is how I'm seeing this card here. This card also talks about like a significant choice point, like a cosmic remote control. You have the choice to go down perhaps many different paths, and it's kind of like trying to choose the best one is kind of how this is feeling. Because I feel like there's a little bit of, that's where the uncertainty is, right? It's kind of feeling like there's an uncertainty about yourself and how you perhaps appear, or how you engage with others, or how you just engage with the world in general, right? There's some sort of unsureness there that's wanting to be healed or integrated in some way. It's really interesting here. You have the 9 of Wands and the 4 of Swords. So this 4 of Swords is this healing energy. The 9 of Wands today, because it's coming out underneath this, the Maktub card, the many choices. This card was talking to me about like crossing a threshold, right? Like crossing over some sort of boundary, or there's like perhaps a difficult transition, or like a difficult boundary that you're needing to cross, some sort of threshold that you need to step over, but it feels difficult in some way, because I feel like you've been in this healing energy, the 4 of Swords. What's so interesting is that the next card out is this 5 of Wands, which is all of that sort of conflict. This is the difficulty. It's kind of feeling like where you're being led, right? Like you've received some sort of new inspiration is kind of how this is feeling. Like you should go in this direction. Maybe you're being called towards something is kind of how it's feeling. Or there's an opportunity being presented to you, but there's kind of like a reluctance to go towards it, because it's you're anticipating it to be this, the 5 of Wands, which in comparison to the 4 of Swords, obviously there's a very big energy shift in those two energies. This 5 of Wands talks about like competition, or if it's not competition, it's kind of just like a lot of fast moving energy. It would be almost like going through like an obstacle course of some sort. It would be a challenge, right? Compared to the 4 of Swords, which is very calm, very peaceful, very steady. But it's kind of like, I feel like what this opportunity is actually. I want to say it's trying to perhaps bring out this aspect of yourself, the know thyself, because this card talks to me about, if you look at like the 2 eyes there, right? There's your self-image, right? How you perceive yourself, your idea of yourself, and then how others perceive you. So there's an interesting thing here as well, right? With the 5 of Wands, that could be like how other people perceive you, or other people's energies, or something like that. And it's kind of like it would require you to bring those 2 aspects together. So this Know Thyself card is really interesting, because at the bottom of the deck for this deck, we have the Mask, the Awareness, and Authentic Expression, which is really interesting. Because I feel like there's some aspect, like the reason why this opportunity might be causing some internal conflict or self-doubt is because in order to like go towards this, or to take this opportunity, it would require you to like shed some aspect of perhaps your identity, or there's something about here of like being hidden, right? Or perhaps being anonymous, or being hidden, being safe in whatever this 4 of Swords is, right? So it's kind of like, I feel like there's perhaps just a reluctance to step into this energy, because it would involve like removing some aspect of your safety, or not safety necessarily, but identity, right? Like something that you identify with. But I want to say that with the Awareness and the Authentic Expression, that it may be helpful in releasing this energy just by becoming aware of it, that the discomfort may be coming from some sort of attachment to like a mask and a masking energy, right? Like some like wanting to remain hidden or something like that. But what you're moving towards is this authentic expression. That's kind of how this know thyself is coming through, right? It's trying to get you to connect with your true nature, perhaps. This opportunity feels like, again, with this the nectar card coming out next, it feels like medicine, right? It feels like with the shaman as well, it feels like this opportunity is trying to get you to connect with some aspect of perhaps yourself or like something that's good for you with the nectar. Because it's also leading to this, the liberation, which is really interesting. Because I was looking at this, like the bird, there's like this little bit of nectar at the tip of that bird's beak. And so what it's talking about is that this opportunity or this new path or option that's being presented to you is actually something that's going to help liberate you from whatever this like underworld energy is, right? It's like the siren, because I always see the siren as being like a positive energy to break your focus, right? It's something new coming in that will perhaps reveal something that you perhaps wouldn't have chosen in your normal circumstances, right? So I feel like that's what this opportunity is revealing itself to be. And then you have all of this gorgeous energy here. The Three of Wands. So this is the card that comes out after the Five of Wands. So the Three of Wands talks about, like, I feel like this is actually something that you've been waiting for or something that will be beneficial to you. How I'm seeing this actually is kind of like, because it was coming through with the Four of Swords, right? It's kind of like perhaps there, like, with all the surfing metaphor, it's kind of like perhaps there was some sort of incident where you went surfing, for example, in the past, and there was like an injury sustained or something like that, right? Like there was an injury that you had to heal from. So this card is kind of feeling like actually going back out into like the first sort of adventure or first kind of return back to the sea after you've healed from that injury. So there's perhaps a little bit of unsureness or again, like that's kind of like self-doubt, because it's kind of like, well, what if I get injured again? Like that kind of thing. It's that kind of energy. So it could be whatever this new opportunity is, it feels like a return to something, right? But it's coming in with this energy of self-doubt because perhaps the last time you were in this energy, it resulted in a wounding of some sort, for example. But it's coming through with all of this really lovely energy with the Eight of Wands. This talks about really fast movement, especially with the liberation. It's freeing you from something. By stepping back into this, it's freeing you and allowing for a lot of quick momentum forward with the Hierophant. Everything's going to turn out fine, right? It's like, I feel like it's wanting to reconnect you to, because look at all of this like really lovely pink like orangey energy. Like it's wanting to reconnect you to some aspect of your Sagittarian nature, which is all about sort of opportunity, right? It's like it feels like a Wheel of Fortune energy. And it's I feel like there's also something here where there's going to be something new to discover as well, because the next card, I love all of these colors together. It's really gorgeous. I'm inclined to say that whatever this opportunity is feels like something that's really, it's healing. It has medicine. And we have here the mirror and the river, which is so interesting because it's like the shard here, the shard being removed from the river. I'm not exactly sure what that means exactly, but I want to say that it's something like with the mirror, it was coming in with the energy of like, because you have the Philosopher's Stone that came out underneath the mirror. So if you're familiar with Harry Potter, the Philosopher's Stone and the mirror are very significant in that first book, is like having a beginner's mind about something, right? Like if you have a beginner's mind about this new thing, if you approach it with sort of like a fresh perspective, perhaps, it's like you receive the key, or you receive some sort of gift that is given to you because you're so open, because you don't know what you're doing, or not that you don't know what you're doing, but it's kind of like it's a new thing. It feels kind of like a fresh rejuvenation, or I don't know. It just feels like you're gonna find something here that is surprising, is kind of how it's feeling. Something that's surprising. With the river as well, this is kind of, because it's like a reflection of a horse, right? There's something here about, especially with this chariot, it's like it's reflecting back to you. Whatever this opportunity is, it's going to reflect back to you some aspect of yourself that perhaps was unexpected, or because this black horse to me represents sort of like it's the shadow aspect. I feel like it's going to return some aspect of your, like, allow you to integrate some aspect of your shadow aspect that you perhaps are not seeing, because you need to experience this this flow in order for you to get that missing piece, is kind of how it's feeling. So it's like in your healing process, you're being guided to go towards this new opportunity that's presenting to you in order to retrieve this aspect of your perhaps shadow side or something like that. And it's going to move really quickly. I feel like it's going to be really quick, very fast momentum. It's going to be surprising in some way. And it's coming through with all of this really gorgeous energy. Ace of Pentacles, which I always talk about as like a gift, right? Like some sort of gift or opportunity or something like that, that grows really quickly, is kind of how it's coming through, because it has like the High Priestess and the Ten of Pentacles. It's like from the Ace of Pentacles to the Ten of Pentacles, right? All in a very quick, almost like, this is kind of coming through with like Sailor Moon for some reason. I don't know why. It's kind of like the transformation between, like, you know when Sailor Moon like transforms? It's that energy. It's like something where it's like a very quick transformation, perhaps, that perhaps reveals some aspect of your, whatever that Sailor Moon energy is coming through with, right? Like some aspect of like a superpower, quote unquote, or like there's something there about like discovering some aspect of your true self, right? An authentic expression of yourself, which is so interesting, because now this is looking like Tuxedo Mask. That's, if you know what I'm talking about, Sailor Moon. I can't find that card now. Oh, there. Tuxedo Mask, right? There's something about like, well, that's interesting, because Sailor Moon is kind of like an alter ego, or like there's two versions of her, right? Like there's two versions. It's kind of like, I feel like whatever this opportunity is might be exploring a different version of you. And there may be doubt in going this way, because it's kind of like, well, which version of me is the true one? And it's kind of like it's both. You're both of those two aspects. That's really interesting. It's revealing some aspect of yourself that perhaps you were reluctant to explore, because perhaps it felt like it wasn't authentic, or it wasn't true to you, or it wasn't who you wanted to be, or something like that. And it's kind of like this High Priestess is coming in to reassure you that this aspect of yourself that you're being encouraged to explore is an authentic expression of who you are, and that it's going to grow really quickly. It might be something that's very surprising. I feel like it's going to have a lot of like new opportunities, new things to explore, new adventures, all of that. It feels really lovely, Sagittarius. It's just feeling like there's a little bit of doubt or uncertainty about stepping into this new opportunity because there's a potential for kind of like conflicting or difficult or challenging energies. But I want to say that you are absolutely equipped to handle it. It's gonna reveal or connect you with some aspect of your high priestess nature, which is really necessary, I want to say, for you. So Sagittarius, I'm going to leave it there. If you're interested in the extended, it's in the description box below. We're going to talk about what else you may need to know about the situation. If this message resonated with you, please consider subscribing, liking, or leaving a comment. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.